Hello everyone, I'm Coach Frump, and today we're going to go over a beginner's guide to your first day in a new Minecraft world. The first thing you're going to want to do, no matter where you start in the world, is cut down a tree. You can do this with your fist, and should keep going until you have at least 5 logs in your inventory. This amount should be enough to make yourself a crafting table and a wood pickaxe, as well as have some extra resources to use later. Mine down a few blocks in a staircase fashion, or find a nearby hill to dig into, and start mining stone until you get enough to make yourself a full set of stone tools, being a pickaxe, an axe, and a sword. The total amount of cobblestone you will need, which comes from mining stone, is 8 pieces, but feel free to mine some extra for building blocks. Now that you've gathered your basic tools, it's time to start figuring out where you want to live. No hostile creatures should spawn during your first day unless you decide to go underground, so we can safely explore for a good while. Now, you can start looking for a village to live in, since they offer you lots of food, shelter, and even some resources. But for this lesson, we are going to assume that there isn't one around. I would recommend looking for a grassy biome to live in with a lot of trees either nearby or easily accessible, such as a plains biome or any kind of forest. Once you find it, you can go ahead and start planning out your base. You can choose to start chopping down trees with your axe to build a house above ground, or you can choose to hide away underground and dig into a hillside or just straight down into the ground itself. Once you've finished deciding on a house, the next thing you'll want to do is start figuring out food. While a farm is always nice to have, they take a little while to set up and grow, so we're going to have to focus on what kinds of foods you can easily get during your first day. What this means is that we're going to have to look for some animals. Almost every animal in the game drops a food item: beef from cows, pork from pigs, mutton from sheep, and chicken from, well, chicken. But one of the animals that should be top priority on day 1 is sheep, because not only do they drop mutton, which is a food item, but they also drop wool along with their meat, which you can use to make a bed. Making a bed will let you set a respawn point for when you die, and even skip to day when it turns nighttime. You may have noticed that most of the food you've got has the word raw on it, which means we're not done yet. The best way to get the most bang for your buck, or cow or sheep in this case, will be to cook up your food in a furnace. After gathering all of your raw meat, we're going to cook all of it up to give you a bonus to help with your hunger bar. So let's get back underground and grab the materials we need for a furnace. While down there, make sure to grab at least 8 pieces of cobblestone, as well as any coal you might find along the way to make the furnace. But feel free to grab more, since you might want more than one furnace at the end of the day. Furnaces let you cook up your food, as well as other resources, to turn them into materials that you'll need for later. But furnaces do require fuel in order to work, which means you'll need certain items in order to help it run. The most common resource people use to fuel their furnaces is coal, which hopefully you found when gathering the materials for the furnace. But any item made of wood also works to fuel a furnace, so you can either get chopping wood or go back underground to find some coal. After all that, go ahead and throw both your fuel and food into the furnace and sit back to watch it cook up a tasty meal that you'll definitely need after all the work you've done today. And that's it. After all of this, you should be running out of daylight, which also means that you should be done using this guide. So go ahead and hunker down for the night and rest up, knowing that you've spent your first day in this new world getting everything you need to succeed.